Welcome to our interview today, Kim. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Steve. And, I want to piggyback off of what you and I did when we did your Facebook Live together and we talked about how to have fun in your business. So this, we came up with my fun way is directing and teaching. So this is my way of sharing how I get to have fun in my business.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
So when you think about shiny objects, Steve, what comes to mind?
Oh gosh, that there are too many of them. Like specific types of shiny objects, the next creative project, the next book to read. I use goodreads.com to keep track of all my books. I've got probably 200 or 300 books in my to read list, just because there's more than a million books out there to read, and there's only so much time that you can spend on things. So
you're so right. And so this is a timely discussion here, because when we come online, you get bombarded with so much information and everything sounds like that's the thing I need or that's the piece I'm missing. And then at the end of the year, you go back and you look at all these downloads and you're like, and I never even opened them. Or you look at your bank account and you say, I've spent all this money and I have nothing to show for it. So I've been there. I'm sure you have too, in one way or another. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
So we're going to spend some time today helping folks figure out how to choose the best shiny objects for your business so that you can save money and save time. Sounds like a winner-winner chicken dinner?
Absolutely. Winner.
So here's the thing. Here's what I do. And I'm going to share what I do. And it's 4 steps. And so you get, whether it's 4 pieces of paper or 1 piece of paper, and you cut it into 4 slots. However you want to do it. But you absolutely want to label the paper or the quadrants this way. In the upper left, you want to have things I enjoy doing and know how to do well. Those are your woo-woo moments. Those are the things that make you have fun in your business. Then we have, on the right-hand side, things I enjoy doing but need to learn more. These are the things where you could be dangerous. Know just enough to be dangerous and probably need some more training to be really great. And then in the lower left corner, we have things I don't know how to do and want to learn. And then we have the 4th quadrant, which is my favorite, things I don't know how to do and I don't want to learn how to do it. Mm-hmm. How about that one, huh? Yeah. So when we can look at what we do in our business, and as coaches, there is so much to do. And even as entrepreneurs, there is so much to do when you have an online business. And there's so much information out there. And everyone wants to be the best or the next best thing. How do you decide where to spend your money and what to spend it on? So we're going to use this technique here to help you figure that out. So I'm going to take each one of these separately, and I'm going to share with you my response to these questions, and then show you how I could decide, and you can decide whether or not a shiny object applies. So the first one we have is the things I enjoy doing and know how to do well. So for me, I'm only going to give you 4 things. There's like a few more. But normally these could be the types of services that you provide or the things that you love doing for your business. So for me, I love to write, blog writing. I love posting online. I also love to design courses. I love to teach others what I know. And I'm also a pretty linear person, and I love to see how things fall into place from one step to the next. So creating product funnels is also another thing that I love to do and know how to do really well. And I've just stepped into this new space, building Facebook groups, because it kind of becomes the same. It pulls everything together for me. I get to write my blogs. I get to post online. I get to design and use my courses. So all of these flow really well for me. I love doing them and I have fun doing them. Before you know it, hours have gone by and I'm still sitting up in my space. So how about for you, Steve? What are the things you enjoy doing and know how to do well?
It's kind of funny. I just did something similar to this 2 nights ago. And some of the things that came up for me were, one, I love to uh, do business architecture, kind of, lay out the structure for things. I love to figure out problems. I love to create, and, I love to teach as well, which, probably no surprise why we're kind of in similar places. There's just a lot of things that I really enjoy doing.
Okay. And so you learned how to do these things and probably invested monies in workshops and classes and trainings, yes?
Yeah, I mean, books and yeah, lots of personal experience and so forth. Yeah.
And one of the traps that we can fall into is that we continually invest in learning how to do these things well. And you find that there really isn't anything more you can learn.
Mm.
You just need to start doing it. And so what helps me is knowing that I'm good. I don't need to spend any more money learning how to write a blog post, learning how to design a course. I know how to do this. Just keep doing that and
Mm.
save my money and put it in places where I really need it.
Mm.
So if you enjoy doing it and you're doing it great, don't spend any more money on that. Go ahead and just perfect your craft. You could even probably start teaching other people and let them pay you.
Right.
Then I have the things I enjoy doing and I'm dangerous enough to do them, but I need to really learn some more. I need to have more skills development. And so that my list are creating joint ventures. I love to collaborate with others. I love social media networking to the fact I'm only in 2 places. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. That's it.
Mm.
So I'm not trying to be everywhere, but I love being in those spaces because I get a lot of engagement and I get a lot of involvement there. Traffic generation I know it's necessary and I would love to do it better. I'm good enough to be dangerous. And building my list is also something I should be better. And it's great when it happens. It's just not happening as consistently as I'd like.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 4 places where I enjoy doing it. I'm not doing it my best and I need to learn more. How about you?
Honestly, yours are pretty well in line with mine. I can create and, plan and design things all day long, but some of the traffic generation types of activities are things that I definitely can learn some more how to improve upon.
I know. And as introverts, you look at this and you go, oh, it's people. That's
Yes.
about people. And that makes sense, doesn't it? That's not something we're really good at. So here we go. Here's my shiny object. So anytime I need to invest in myself, as I look at these areas, and those are the shiny objects I'm going to go grab.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about where am I lacking? Identify those gaps. I'm great at this part of joint venturing, but I'm not so good here.
Mm.
So I'm going to want to grab a course or a mastermind or a coach to help me with filling in these gaps. So in this scenario here, you may not need more training or more workshops. You may need a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because here is where the gap is, and you need someone that's going to step in and help you identify that gap and help resolve that gap. So this training here may not be more workshops. You might need one-on-one attention. I know that when I get to a gap area, I need a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for a coach that's her specialty, and she can look at what I've been doing, and she can point me in the direction to fix what's wrong. So that right there, it's not that I need more training, I need more help. So I go and get me a coach, and it's for a short-term period to help me get the skills I need to be better in doing these things. What do you think about that?
I think that's well said. Great point.
Get a coach, yes. All right. So here's the third area. These are the things I don't know how to do, but I want to learn how to do them. And I know how to do them good enough for me. I know how to do them well enough to share with an expert to say, this is kind of what I'm looking for, and they could take it from there. But it's not something that I have on my services. It's not something that I offer to my clients, right? So I have an interest, and I would love to learn how to do it, but does it make sense for me to learn how to do it right now? So this is a place where that shiny object can become a little distracting. So what I recommend is think about your business model. Think about the services that you offer. Is the investment going to result in new revenue for your business? Is the investment going to result in improved services? Or is it something you just feel you want to know and it's not going to have any impact on your business? Prioritize the need and then invest in the training that's going to get you the biggest bang for your buck. So I know graphic and logo design probably could become something I would do for my clients, because a lot of them don't have their logos or their branding or their banners ready. And I love to do that. I'm just not really good at it. So for me, being able to invest in the training to get that would probably make sense. Now, video commercials, I love how, I love the splash and the glamour and the glitz, but I probably wouldn't add that to my business because that's such a big, huge piece. I wouldn't be positioned to work that. So that's nice to know, but I wouldn't go any further with it, and neither would I do voiceovers. So guess which one would be my shiny object to get training?
Graphic and logo design. Yeah.
Graphic and logo design. So there goes my mailbox full of all these shiny objects for graphic and logo design. I could just say it now. But can you see how that makes sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell me the one thing you know how to do, you don't know how to do, and you want to learn how to do.
So the thing that I want to, it kind of actually goes back to that top right quadrant that you were looking at, is, one of the things I'd love to learn how to do better that I don't know, is building my following on Instagram. I'm a very visual person. I love, the visual aspect of Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, etc. But it has been very slow going on Instagram, and I'd love it to be much better than it is.
So that would make sense for your business because you are so visual, and I've heard that if you're a visual company, that Instagram is a great place to put things. And I was just on a training where they were talking about the use of hashtags. When you use Instagram, she said, you want to Google the hashtags that are best for your target audience. And then when you post on Instagram, she said you can use up to 30 hashtags,
right?
But you plug in those hashtags that are already being used so you can piggyback off that traffic.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's a whole science to that, how to use those hashtags. And part of the challenge is that there are so many hashtags out there that it's more of a winnowing process than anything.
Well, she said if you go on in Google, within your target market, Google relationship coaching or something like that, whatever that niche is or that target market is. She said, and then when you go into Instagram, you look for those hashtags.
Right.
You can look for them based on those same words.
Right.
Then you don't have to use them all. You could pick 10 and then let those 10 be the ones that you use when you put yourself out there.
Right. Yeah, there's actually a number of different ways you can do it. One of the things that I do is look for people who are in my space and see what in what tags and hashtags they're using. There's also, because hashtags are so integral to Instagram, Instagram gives a number of tools in order to be able to kind of do that hashtag research as well. You can follow hashtags. There's a number of things you can do.
Yeah.
So
Instagram is a whole nother monster, so to speak, isn't it?
yeah, oh, it is. I mean, and a lot of people go in there and like, what the heck? I'm totally lost. And honestly, I mean, I've felt that way too at times. But I mean, I really enjoy that site, partly because of the visual, but partly also because I like the way that things flow around hashtags, and so you get more the concentration of conversation on a specific topic is much greater because people are using those hashtags to kind of lead and guide those conversations. Whereas on Facebook, you know, you're basing it more upon the people, and they might not be into the same you know, conversation as you are.
So then so have you found some Instagram training, or you kind of winging it on your own?
Both. So like one of the people that I follow on Instagram is Subi Zimmerman, who is an Instagram marketing expert, and she uses Instagram, you know, to deliver training, and you know, she's got different courses and so forth. But also it's just, I'm one who likes to look under the hood, and so I've spent a lot of time exploring different areas of Instagram. So I know the area and I know the platform pretty well, but it's getting to the specifics and finding just the right keywords that, you know, that reach the audience that I'm trying to reach. You know,
so do you feel that maybe it's not training that I need, but I need a coach that could tell me exactly answer my question specifically?
That might be a good point. You might be right there.
Because I'm with you. I'm going under the hood. I'm kicking the tires, and then when I figured out as much as I can, then I go, okay, either I take a class. Okay, now they're saying the same thing I already know. Now I need to go find someone to give me these answers here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a big investment if you can find someone who's willing to spend, you know, maybe 30 to 90 days with you just to keep you accountable, moving forward and getting things done.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might have a good point. You have a good point there.
And then our last quadrant is the things I don't know how to do and don't want to learn to do. I got about 10 things on that list. And I am not using CSS coding. I love website design, but I'm going to do it for myself. I've tried to do it for clients, and I tell you, I'd rather pull my hair out. And I'm like, there are too many people who have talent and love having fun building these things. Let me just find a few of those folks, and I refer my clients to them. And I am not making a cold call. That's not happening. You know, I'm an introvert. Why would I do this? And
right.
I don't want anybody making cold calls. I don't think that's appropriate. I get offended when those robocalls come through.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I'm like, how did you get my number? You don't even ask anymore, you know.
Mm.
But don't have me pick up first you rang my phone. Then I have to pick it up and hear a recorded message I didn't ask for.
Right.
Or this stupid, silly, hey, this is Jennifer, and I'm just calling to tell you there's nothing wrong with your credit card. Then why did you call me? I am busy.
Right.
So if you know what you know, so I find a lot of times my coaches will get involved in doing things they hate. They don't even know how to do it, but they're doing it because somebody else, another coach or another program told them they need to do it. They went to a free webinar and somebody said, and you need to be here and you need to be doing this. And when I get them, they are so frazzled because they're doing all these things they hate to do, don't know how to do. So I want to just say, you don't have to do everything. You only need to do what you like.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When you figure out you don't like it, put it on this list here. And then stop doing it.
Right. Amen.
Go and get somebody else to do it for you. So there are things those people will say, but I need to have this done for my business. You probably do. But if you do it wrong, you may as well have not have done it at all.
Right.
And website design, there is truly a science to that. And you don't want to have the first impression people have of you is that crappy website you just put up, because your son did it or your sister did it for you, and they don't have any website design.
Right.
So make sure that if it's something you don't like to do, make sure the people that you get to do it love doing it, experienced at doing it, right? And that you're willing to pay the money to get them to do it. What are the things you hate to do?
Bookkeeping.
Oh, yes. Love getting paid. Hate that whole reconciling the book.
Right. And the funny thing, I mean, I've got a master's in accounting, and I mean, I did that for years, and there are things I'm really good at, but things I really don't want to do. So I love the understanding that it provided me, but I have no desire to ever, balance someone's checkbook or do their books or anything like that.
Oh my gosh, Steve, really? But you know what? That's okay, because what the things we used to love to do may not be the things we want to do anymore.
Well, that was what happened for me. Is I loved learning about accounting, because accounting is like, as they say, the language of business, and I love language. But it's like once I learned it and knew it, I got to the point where it's like there's nothing new here anymore. I just know it. And for me, as an explorer, you're the director, I'm an explorer. I've always got to have something new. And if there's nothing new, if I'm doing the same thing day in and day out, it's just, it's torture. And so, I am totally grateful for the experience and the education that I have, but I have no desire to ever, do that again.
Hey, you know what? You came up with a fifth one. Things I know how to do and just don't want to do it anymore. Because I'm the same way. There's some things that are mundane. I do not like mundane tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Once I know how to do it, when I was in my VA business, I would charge by the hour, and then it didn't take long before I was working myself into the poorhouse, because I got really fast, right? So I'm like, I'm working like a Hebrew slave here. So then I went to packages, because then it didn't matter how long it took me to do something. I already knew how long it was going to take, right? But I didn't have to count the time. So we could have a fifth one. Things I know how to do well, but don't want to do them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Things that just, for me, it's like the heuristic is, does it give you energy, or does it suck your energy away? And if it's, avoid those things that zap your energy.
Absolutely. Yes. So so just to kind of bring everything around full circle. If you do the things you love, you'll always have work satisfaction or fun in your work. And you'll never work a day in your life. You'll love what you're doing, right? You want to get all of these to this work satisfaction, but not everything is going to be satisfying for you, but you still have benefits. If you have to invest in a shiny object, you either are going to have a short-term investment or a long-term investment, depending upon which quadrant it's in. If it's a short-term investment, you're going to be able to get through that training or that coaching quickly. You'll have developed a new skill, and it'll move over into your work satisfaction quadrant. But if you have to go through a long-term training program, mastermind, down in the third quadrant, that's fine. Sometimes you have to get into programs that take a little bit of time and include coaching. I totally recommend a mastermind that has instruction and coaching when you have to do a long-term commitment. And when you do that, you're building community, you're meeting new people, you're building a relationship with that instructor or that coach. There's so many other benefits behind that. So you'll be learning something new, which will eventually move over into your work satisfaction. And then the last one, hey, let's just be honest. If you don't like doing it and you don't want to do it, then you need to put the money aside so that you can find someone of quality to help you get it done.
Absolutely.
So there's only two reasons why you want a shiny object, why you would chase a shiny object. One, you need to develop some more skills on something you already love doing. Or two, you would love to learn how to do it and you don't know how. But if you already love doing what you do and you do it well, don't waste any more money on that. And if there are things you don't know how to do and don't want to learn how to do, then don't stress yourself out trying to figure out when you should, or if you should put money into that. Don't do that. Let the other two drive your how you spend your money on your shiny objects and chase those.
Great points. Yeah.
So I want to give everybody a free copy of my e-guide on how to increase your marketing savvy. I've written it for introverts, but I'm telling you, there's some great tips in there for you. It even has an article in there on 23 ways to know whether or not you're an introvert. And then it goes into some other articles on how to improve your marketing savvy as an introvert and the gifts that we bring to the table. So you can download a copy at helpmegetitdone.com. And you can also join my free Facebook group over on Help Me Get It Done here inside of Facebook.
Excellent.
So Steve, I want to thank you for allowing me to be with you in this space today.
It's been a pleasure. And I've got things I have learned a lot, so thank you.
Wonderful. Well, you know, we've been doing this thing for a while now, and I look forward to the next time we get together and hope that we can collaborate again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Kim.
All right. Thank you.